welcome back to Scott's Reading Sports Today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back with my dad today. It's time to do our Week 4 college football predictions and our Week 3 of NFL predictions. Let's get into those right now. First game, Saturday noon, Texas Tech and Utah. Big noon Saturday will be in Salt Lake City for this game. I'm going to go with Texas Tech to pull off the road upset and get the win on the road against Utah.
It's a tough game to pick because neither team has played anyone particularly good. Utah has looked very good against inferior opponents. Since Utah is playing at home, I'm going to take Utah to win in a very close game.
Next up, UAB and Tennessee. Tennessee coming off a heartbreaking loss last week to Georgia. I think Tennessee bounces back and gets the win at home.
Agreed. I think Tennessee is a far better program than UAB. I like Tennessee in at least 2 touchdown game.
Next up, Oregon State and Oregon. I will go with Oregon. I think Oregon's been playing very well so far this year. I'll go with Oregon at home over Oregon State.
There was a time when Oregon State would give Oregon fits, but I think the gap between the two programs is so large now, Oregon rolls.
Next up, Kent State going into Tallahassee to take on Florida State. I'm going to go with Florida State here at home. I think Florida State's looked good so far this year. I'll go with Florida State at home over Kent State.
Kent State, the Flashes?
Yep.
I don't think the Flashes have a chance. I think Florida State wins big.
Next up, Auburn and Oklahoma. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma at home. I think Oklahoma's been probably one of the most impressive teams in the SEC so far this year. I'll go with Oklahoma at home over Auburn.
Oklahoma made some really good off-season additions to the program and the team. I think Oklahoma has a chance to win the SEC, and I think they will beat Auburn.
Next up, Tulane and Ole Miss. As much as I would love to see Tulane win this game and put themselves in the running to make the college football playoff, I don't think they're going to win this one. I'll go with Ole Miss at home over Tulane.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. If Tulane wins this game, they've got a very good path to get over USF and be a playoff participant. But I think Ole Miss has got too much. I like Ole Miss in this one.
Next up, Michigan and Nebraska. I'm going to go with Michigan. I think Michigan's looked good so far this year. I'll go with Michigan at home on the road over Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska just can't seem to find themselves. I like Michigan in this
one. Next up, Purdue and Georgia Tech. Purdue and Notre Dame. I'm going to go with the Fighting Irish to get their first win of the season and get a win at home over Purdue.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame was going to win, and they're going to win big.
Next up, Temple and Georgia Tech. I will go with Georgia Tech. Haynes Kings look good. I will go with Georgia Tech at home to get it done over Temple.
Georgia Tech's been a pretty darn good team the last 2 years. Had a big win last week. I like Georgia Tech in this one.
Next up, South Carolina and Missouri. I would love to see an update on the North Sellers before I pick this game, but I'm going to go with Missouri at home over South Carolina.
I'm going to predict that Sellers is going to play, and that South Carolina is going to bounce back and get a very close road win.
Next up, Illinois and Indiana. I'm going to go with Indiana at home. I think Indiana's had a better season so far, so I'll go with Indiana at home over Illinois.
I think Illinois is a real deal. I think they've got a lot of returning starters. I think Illinois gets the win at Indiana.
Next up is Vanderbilt at home against Georgia State. Vandy coming off a nice win over South Carolina last week. I'll go with Vanderbilt to get the win at home over Georgia State.
Maybe the best Vanderbilt team in the last, 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So good for them. I agree they're going to get the win.
Next up, Southeast Louisiana taking on LSU. I'll go with LSU at home. I think LSU's look good. So I'll go with LSU at home over Southeast Louisiana.
I agree. I don't think LSU is as good as everyone thought because Clemson is not as good as everyone thought, but I do think they'll beat Southeast Louisiana.
Next up, Sam Houston going into Austin to take on Texas. I will go with Texas. I think Texas has looked good. So I'll go with Texas at home over Sam Houston.
Arch Manning has struggled a bit, but they're obviously a superior program to Sam Houston. I'll take Texas.
Next up, Michigan State and USC. I'll go with USC to get a home win at home over Michigan State.
Yeah, USC's had a sneaky good start. I think USC will continue their winning ways and get the win.
Next up, UCF and North Carolina, our non-top 25 game of the week. My mom thinks this is going to be a blowout game. I do not think so. I think it's going to be close. But I think UCF finds a way late in the game to make enough plays to get it done at home over North Carolina.
Yeah, I don't think this will be a blowout either way. I think it'll be a close, hard-fought game, and only because UCF's at home am I going to take UCF, but I think it'll be like a field goal kind of game.
Now into the College game day game of the week, as it'll be the Florida Gators heading into Miami to take on the Hurricanes. I'm going to go with Miami to get the win here. I think Miami's looked good so far this year with Carson Beck, so I'll go with Miami at home over Florida.
I think the Gators have a chance to really tube. They're losing to USF really hurt them. I think Miami's the far better team. I think Miami's going to win, unfortunately, by a couple touchdowns.
Now into the NFL games for the weekend. First out, the Dolphins heading into Buffalo to take on the Bills. I will go with the Buffalo Bills at home. I think the Bills have looked very good so far this year. I'll go with the Bills at home over the Dolphins.
I could argue the Bills are the best team in the NFL right now. I think the Bills get the win pretty easily.
Next up, the Green Bay Packers heading into Cleveland to take on the Browns. I'm going to go with the Packers to get the win here. I think Jordan Love's looked good. I think the Packers defense will continue to look good. I'll go with the Packers on the road over the Browns.
I think the Packers also could be considered one of the better teams in the NFL. Looked really good through the first couple of weeks. I think they beat the Browns pretty easily.
Next up, the Indianapolis Colts heading into Tennessee to take on the Titans. I'm going to go with Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts to get the win here on the road over the Titans.
And Daniel Jones has been one of the big surprises this year. It's amazing how changing scenery can invigorate someone's career. I like Daniel Jones and the Colts to win this as well.
Next up, the Cincinnati Bengals heading into Minneapolis to take on the Minnesota Vikings. A battle of two backup quarterbacks. I'm going to put my faith in a guy who I know can do it at the top level in the NFL. That would be Carson Wentz and the Minnesota Vikings to get the win at home. Just because they're at home, I'll take the Vikings over the Bengals.
Yeah, this is a tough one because you've got both backup quarterbacks, but I think the Vikings at home are probably the better team.
Next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into New England to take on the Pats, who are coming off a nice win over the Dolphins last week. Steelers coming off a loss against Seattle last week. I'm going to go with the Steelers to find a way to get a win on the road over the Patriots.
This will be a close game. I think the Steelers are going to do some soul searching, find themselves, and I think the Steelers get the win in this one.
Next up, in probably one of the best games of the weekend, is it'll be Matt Stafford of the Rams heading into Philly to take on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to go with the Eagles at home. I think the Eagles are just a better team right now than the Rams. So I'll take the Eagles at home over the Rams.
The Eagles have won 2 close games the first 2 weeks. I think the Rams are going to go in there and upset them. I think the Rams are playing very, very well. I like the Rams in this one.
Next up, at home, Tampa Bay back at home after 2 miraculous wins on the road. Justin Fields will not play this week. They already announced he's still in concussion protocol, so he will not start this week. The Jets are going to go to Tyrod Taylor this week. Basically a trap game here for Tampa Bay. But if we focus and actually play the way we have the last 2 weeks, I think we're going to find a way to get a win here. So I will take Tampa Bay at home to finally start 3-0 and get a win over the Jets.
Yeah, I think we caught a break getting Tyrod Taylor, who's fine backup. But I think if the Bucs can score in the 20s, they probably get the win, and I think they will.
Next up, the Las Vegas Raiders heading into Washington to take on the Commanders. Is Tom Brady going to be calling plays for the Raiders this week? We don't know after what we saw on Monday night with him having a headset on in the press box on Monday night.
Weird.
I will take Washington to bounce back after a tough loss in Green Bay last week. I think Washington bounces back and gets the win over the Raiders.
I agree. My only one concern is the health of Jaden Daniels, but provided that he's healthy and able to play, I like the Commanders.
Next up, the Atlanta Falcons heading into Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. A.J. Terrell's hurt this week, so we'll see what goes on with that. But I still think Atlanta finds a way to get a win here, even without their best corner in A.J. Terrell. So I'm going to go with the Falcons to find a way to get a win on the road over the Panthers.
I think the Panthers are going to be playing desperate. They haven't won yet. They're at home. It's a division game. I like the Panthers to upset the Falcons.
Next up, the Houston Texans heading into Jacksonville to take on the Jags. DeMeco Ryans is basically coaching for his job here. If the Texans start 0-3, he may get fired on Monday. So I will go with the Texans to find a way to get a win on the road in Jacksonville against the Jags.
I think the Jags are actually going to get the win here. I think the Jags at home are in a similar position as the Texans, which is a must-win, and I think they get the win at home.
Next up, the Denver Broncos heading into SoFi to take on the Chargers. I'm going to go with the Chargers to stay hot here. I think Justin Herbert's looked good the first 2 weeks. So I'll go with Justin Herbert and the Chargers to get the win at home over the Broncos.
I think the Broncos defense are going to shut down the Chargers, and I like the Broncos to win in a low-scoring game.
Next up, the New Orleans Saints heading into Seattle to take on the Seahawks. My eliminator pick of the week, I'm going to go with Seattle at home. I think Seattle finds a way to get a win at home over New Orleans.
I'm probably going to pick against New Orleans all year, probably, given what I've seen so far. Mm-hmm. So I won't change it here. I'll take the Seahawks.
Next up, the Dallas Cowboys heading into Chicago to take on the Chicago Bears. I will go with Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears to get the win here at home. I think they're desperate for a win here after losing last week to
Detroit.
The Lions, getting absolutely murdered by the Lions last week, losing to the Vikings 2 weeks ago on Monday night. I think the Bears are in desperate need of a win, so I think they get it at home over the Cowboys.
I agree with Scott here. I think Chicago's desperate, and the Cowboys are not very good. I like the Bears.
Next up, the Arizona Cardinals heading into San Francisco to take on the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to go with Mac Jones and the San Francisco 49ers to get the win here. I think the Niners have looked good, even without all their players, with a lot of their offense out last week. I think they look pretty good. So I'll go with the Niners to get a win at home over the Cardinals.
Cardinals have been better than expected. I think the Cardinals go into San Francisco against their backup quarterback and get the win.
Next up, Sunday Night Football, a battle of two teams still searching for their first win, as it'll be Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs heading into New York to take on Russell Wilson and the New York Giants. I'm going to go with the Chiefs to bounce back here. I think Kansas City desperately needs a win here, and I think they get it. So I'll go with the Chiefs on the road over the Giants.
There's no way I can see the Chiefs going 0-3. I think the Chiefs go in, probably won't win in blowout fashion, probably a close game, but they'll get a win here.
Next up, the Lions on Monday Night Football. The Lions heading into Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Probably the best game of the weekend. I will go with Lamar and the Ravens to find a way to get a win at home. I think the Ravens find a way to get a win at home over the Lions.
I think the Ravens and the Bills right now are the two best teams in the NFL. I think the Ravens are going to show it. They're going to beat the Lions by at least 10 points. I like the Ravens in this one.
And that will do it for this episode of Scott's Wiggins Sports. I will be back next Thursday, the day before I leave for state swimming, and I'll see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Wiggins Sports. See you later, guys.
See you guys.